The Galactic Council chamber floated in the center of a quiet star system, surrounded by endless darkness and cold light. For thousands of years, this chamber had been the heart of power in the galaxy. Inside, representatives from hundreds of alien species sat in perfect order, each one proud, each one powerful, each one believing they controlled the fate of every star and every world. No war could begin without their knowledge, and no species could rise without their permission. They believed they had seen everything. They believed nothing could surprise them anymore. But they were wrong. At the center of the chamber, a massive holographic screen displayed the peaceful star system around them. Everything was calm. Everything was under control. Then suddenly, a sharp alarm cut through the silence. It was not loud, but it was enough. Every head turned toward the screen. A young officer looked down at his console, his hands moving quickly. His expression changed. Confusion first, then fear. Unknown object detected, he said slowly. The chamber grew quiet. Unknown objects were rare, almost impossible. Every ship in the galaxy was tracked and recorded. The screen zoomed out, showing a small signal near the edge of the system. At first, it looked harmless. Just a single dot in the darkness. Some council members relaxed, thinking it was nothing important. But the sensors continued scanning. Numbers began to appear. Size estimates, energy readings, structure analysis. And then the numbers stopped. The system could not complete the scan. It failed. The officer stared at his console, his voice shaking slightly. "The object is too large," he said. A low murmur spread across the chamber. Too large. Those words had not been spoken in centuries. The screen zoomed closer. Slowly, carefully, the shape became clear. It was a ship, but not like any ship they had ever seen. Its surface was dark, almost black, covered in smooth armor that reflected no light. Its shape was simple, but terrifying, like a silent predator waiting in deep space. It did not move fast. It did not show weapons. It did not show fear. It simply existed, watching, waiting. One of the elder council members leaned forward, his ancient eyes narrow. "Identify it," he ordered. The officer ran every database, every record, every known ship design. Nothing matched. The ship did not belong to any known empire. It did not belong to any known species. The chamber began to feel smaller, colder. Then suddenly, new data appeared. Origin point detected. The officer froze, staring at the words. He did not want to say it, but he had to. Origin. Sol system, he whispered. The chamber went silent. Sol system. Earth. Humanity. Some council members laughed nervously, thinking it was a mistake. Humans were young, divided, and weak. They were not capable of building something like this. It was impossible. But the data did not change. The truth remained. The ship came from Earth. The screen zoomed closer again, revealing massive structures across its surface, large towers, deep weapon ports, and armor layers thicker than entire warships. This was not a simple ship. This was something else. Something far more dangerous. Then the final image appeared, clear and undeniable. On the side of the ship, written in bold human letters, was its name. Titan-class warship, Dominion. No one spoke. No one moved. For the first time in Galactic Council history, fear entered the chamber. The chamber remained frozen in silence. No one moved. No one spoke. Every eye stayed locked on the massive human warship floating outside their system. It did not move. It did not attack. It simply waited. And somehow, that made it even more terrifying. One of the council elders, a tall being with pale silver skin, slowly leaned forward. His voice was calm, but inside, he felt something he had not felt in centuries. Uncertainty. "Confirm the origin again," he said. The young officer swallowed and checked his console once more. His fingers trembled slightly. "The origin is confirmed," he said quietly. "Sol system. Earth." A low murmur spread across the chamber. Some council members whispered to each other. Others stared in disbelief. This did not make sense. Humans were classified as a developing species. They were emotional, divided, and unstable. They fought wars among themselves. They had only recently begun exploring nearby space. They were not considered a threat. In fact, many council members had completely ignored humanity. They believed humans would take centuries to reach the level of the major galactic powers. But the ship outside proved something else. Something terrifying. One council member, A large armored being from a warrior empire spoke loudly. "This must be stolen technology," he said. "Humans could not build this." Some members agreed, nodding quickly. It was easier to believe that. It was easier than accepting the truth. The officer continued scanning the ship, hoping to find weaknesses, hoping to find limits. But the more he scanned, the worse it became. "No visible weapon systems active," he reported. "No shield signature detected. No engine output detected." The chamber became restless. "How is it moving?" one member asked. The officer hesitated. "We don't know," he answered honestly. That answer made the fear worse. Unknown technology was always dangerous. Unknown power was always deadly. The human ship had entered their most secure system without resistance, without permission, without effort, and no one had been able to stop it. One elder member spoke softly, almost to himself. They were never supposed to advance this fast. His words carried across the chamber. Because deep down, many of them were thinking the same thing. For years, the Galactic Council had watched humanity from a distance. They saw their wars. They saw their struggles. They saw their weakness. But they also saw something else. Humans survived. Again and again. No matter how much they suffered. No matter how much they lost. They endured. Still, no one expected this. No one expected humanity to create something that could stand before the entire Galactic Council without fear. Suddenly, a new signal appeared on the officer's console. His eyes widened. "The ship is transmitting," he said. Every council member straightened. The chamber grew completely silent. No one breathed. No one moved. This was the moment. This was the first direct contact. The officer hesitated before opening the signal. His hand hovered above the control. He did not know what he would hear. A threat, a demand, or something far worse. Slowly, he activated the transmission. A calm, steady voice filled the chamber. A human voice. Confident, fearless, and completely in control. "Galactic Council," the voice said. "We know you are watching." The human voice echoed through the great chamber, calm and steady. No anger, no fear, only confidence. Many council members felt something strange at that moment. The voice did not sound like a weak species. It did not sound like a species asking for permission. It sounded like an equal. "Galactic Council," the human voice continued. "This is Commander Elias Ward of the Titan-class warship Dominion." The name spread through the chamber like cold wind. Commander, not ambassador, not representative. Commander. The meaning was clear. This was a military ship, and this was a military leader. The central screen changed. A human appeared in holographic form. He wore a dark uniform with simple silver markings. His face was calm, his eyes sharp and focused. He stood straight, without bowing, without showing submission. For many council members, that small detail felt like an insult, but none of them spoke. "We understand that our arrival may cause concern," Commander Ward said. His tone remained respectful, but firm. For many years, humanity has remained silent. Some council members shifted in their seats. Silent. Yes, humans had been quiet. Too quiet. "We listened," Ward continued. "We observed your wars, your alliances, your conflicts." The chamber grew colder. He was not guessing. He was stating facts. "As you studied us," he said calmly, "we also studied you." Those words hit harder than any weapon. The council had believed they were watching humanity. But now it was clear. Humanity had been watching back. One of the older council members finally spoke, his voice careful. "State your purpose, Commander," he said. The human did not hesitate. "We did not come to request membership," Ward replied. A small wave of surprise passed through the chamber. Membership in the Galactic Council was seen as a great honor. Most species waited centuries for approval. But humanity was not asking. "We did not come to negotiate protection," Ward continued. His eyes scanned the chamber through the holographic link. "And we certainly did not come to surrender." A deep silence followed those words. The warrior species representatives tightened their grip on their seats. Some wanted to respond with threats. Some wanted to call their fleets. But something stopped them. Outside the chamber windows, the Titan-class warship still floated in space. Massive, unmoving, untouched by fear. "We came," Ward said slowly, "because the balance of this galaxy is changing." The main screen suddenly displayed data. Maps of star systems, records of recent wars, destroyed colonies, extinct species. The council members stared at the evidence. They knew it was true. The galaxy had grown unstable. Powerful empires fought for control. Weaker species suffered in silence. For a long time, humanity focused only on survival, Ward said. We fought our own wars, we solved our own problems, we rebuilt our world. His voice became slightly stronger. We learned from our mistakes. The chamber listened carefully. Every word felt important. We built the Dominion not to conquer, Ward said. The massive image of the Titan warship filled the screen again. We built it to ensure that humanity would never be threatened again. A pause followed, long enough to make every heart beat faster. Then Ward added quietly, and if necessary, to ensure that no one else is either. The meaning was clear. This was not a request. This was a statement. Humanity had arrived, not as a weak species seeking approval, but as a power that could not be ignored. The chamber remained silent after Commander Ward's final words. No one knew how to respond. No one had prepared for this moment. For the first time in history, humanity was not standing below them. Humanity was standing beside them. Outside the massive viewing window, the Titan-class warship Dominion floated like a dark mountain in space. Unmoving, unafraid, watching. But not everyone in the council accepted this. One of the most powerful members, General Korvax of the Drathri Empire, leaned forward. His species had ruled hundreds of systems through strength and fear. He did not believe in patience. He did not believe in peace. And he did not believe humans could match his empire. This is intimidation, Korvax said loudly. His deep voice filled the chamber. A primitive species arrives with a single ship and expects respect. Some council members remained silent, but others listened carefully. Korvax turned toward the control officers. Deploy the defense fleet, he ordered. The officers hesitated, looking toward the council leaders. No one stopped him. Moments later, alarms echoed through the system. Outside, space began to move. From hidden stations and distant positions, warships emerged. Hundreds, then thousands. Massive alien warships surrounded the human Titan ship from every direction, each one armed with weapons capable of destroying planets. Energy cannons charged. Missile systems activated. Target locks confirmed. The Dominion was completely surrounded. Inside the chamber, some council members felt relief. Others felt fear. They watched carefully, waiting to see how humanity would react. But the Dominion did nothing. It did not raise shields. It did not move. It did not show any sign of panic. It simply remained still. General Korvax smiled slightly. You see, he said, they understand their position. But at that exact moment, something unexpected happened. One by one, warning signals appeared across the fleet command systems. At first, small errors. Then critical failures. Weapon systems stopped responding. Target locks disappeared. Missile launch systems shut down. Energy cannons powered off. Panic spread quickly across every alien ship. What is happening? Korvax demanded. Officers rushed to answer, their voices filled with confusion. We are losing control, one officer said. Weapon systems are offline, another reported. Shield systems are not responding, said a third. It was spreading, not through damage, not through attack, but through control. The Dominion had not fired a single weapon, yet every warship around it was now helpless. The human ship still had not moved, still had not attacked. It simply watched. Inside the chamber, fear returned, stronger than before. General Korvax stared at the screen in disbelief. This is impossible, he whispered. Thousands of the most powerful warships in the galaxy had just been neutralized. Without a single shot. Without a single warning. Then Commander Ward's calm voice returned. We did not come here to fight, he said. His tone remained steady. We came to show you that we no longer need to. No anger. No threats. Just truth. In that moment, every member of the Galactic Council understood something they had never understood before. Humanity was no longer weak. Humanity was no longer behind. Humanity had become something else entirely. Something the galaxy could not control. Inside the council chamber, no one spoke after the fleet was disabled. The silence felt heavier than before. Thousands of warships, powerless. And the human Titan warship had not even fired a single shot. Commander Elias Ward's image still stood in the center of the chamber, calm and steady. He did not smile. He did not show pride. He simply waited. Finally, one of the elder council members spoke, his voice slower now. What do you want, Commander? He asked. It was no longer a question filled with authority. It was a question filled with caution. Ward looked directly at the chamber. "What we want," he said, "is simple." He paused for a moment, making sure every species was listening. "We want stability." The screen behind him changed, showing images of Earth's past. Old human cities burning in war, broken buildings, families hiding in fear, soldiers standing in ruined streets. "For centuries, humanity fought itself," Ward said quietly. "We destroyed our own world more than once." Some council members watched with surprise. They had seen reports, but never like this. "Every war taught us something," Ward continued. "Every mistake forced us to grow." The images shifted. Human scientists working together. Massive shipyards being built in orbit. Nations uniting under one planetary defense command. "We learned that survival is not about pride," he said. "It is about preparation." The image of the Dominion filled the screen again. Massive, dark, unstoppable. "We built the Titan-class warship not to conquer other species," Ward explained. "We built it so no one could ever threaten us again." His voice remained calm, but stronger now. "We know how powerful this council is. We know what your fleets can do. We know what happens to species that are seen as weak." The chamber grew uneasy. They knew he was right. The galaxy was not kind to the weak. "For many years," Ward said, "you saw humanity as small, as divided, as unimportant." He paused again. "But we were listening. We were learning. And we were building." The elder council member leaned forward slightly. "Are you threatening us?" he asked carefully. Ward shook his head slowly. "No," he replied. "If we wanted war, this chamber would already be empty." Those words sent a cold wave across the room. But Ward continued before fear could turn into anger. "We do not want control of your systems," he said. "We do not want to rule your people. We want one thing." He looked at them all. "Respect." The word echoed through the chamber. "Humanity will not bow," Ward said. "Humanity will not beg for protection. But humanity will stand with any species that seeks peace." The screen changed one last time. It showed smaller civilizations near dangerous borders. Worlds often attacked by larger empires. "We will not allow extinction for sport," Ward added firmly. "We will not allow conquest for pride." The message was clear. Humanity was not asking for permission. Humanity was declaring its place. Not as a conqueror, but as a guardian that could not be ignored. And for the first time in history, the Galactic Council began to see humans not as a young species, but as a power equal to their own. The chamber remained silent after Commander Ward's final words. No one argued. No one protested. No one dared to challenge him. For the first time in Galactic Council history, the balance of power had shifted, not through war, not through destruction, but through presence alone. Outside the chamber, thousands of alien warships still floated helplessly around the human Titan warship Dominion. Their weapons were offline. Their shields were silent. Their crews could do nothing but watch. And in the center of them all, the Dominion remained calm and unmoving, like a king surrounded by an army that could no longer fight. Inside the chamber, General Korvac sat in silence, his earlier confidence gone. He stared at the screen, watching the human ship. For the first time in his long life, he understood what true power looked like. Not loud, not aggressive, but absolute. The elder council member slowly stood, his ancient body weak, but his voice clear. "Commander Ward," he said carefully. The human commander looked at him, waiting. The elder hesitated for a moment. This was not something the council had ever done before. "We acknowledge humanity," he said finally. The words felt heavy, important, real. A quiet wave moved across the chamber. No one objected, because no one could deny the truth anymore. Humanity had earned its place, not through fear, but through strength and restraint. Commander Ward gave a small nod. Not a bow, not submission, but mutual respect. "That is all humanity has ever asked," he replied. Outside, something began to change. Slowly, the Dominion started to move, its massive structure turning away from the council system. It did not rush. It did not show urgency. It moved with calm certainty. At the same moment, the alien fleet systems began to return. Weapons came back online. Shields reactivated. Control returned to their crews. But no one fired. No one chased the human ship. No one even spoke. They simply watched it leave. The Dominion moved farther and farther away, becoming smaller in the endless darkness. But its presence remained in their minds. Its message remained in their thoughts. Humanity had arrived, and humanity had proven something important. They did not need permission. They did not need approval. They did not need to conquer. They were already strong, already prepared, already unstoppable. Inside the chamber, the council members sat in silence long after the human ship disappeared. Because deep down, every one of them knew the truth. The galaxy had changed forever. There was now a new power among the stars. A power born from survival. A power built from patience. A power called humanity. And from that day forward, no species in the galaxy would ever see humans as weak again.